Today we're going to talk about why is my account not matching the bank balance and the QuickBooks balance. So here in this example, we have a sample company, and as you can see, the bank balance is negative 3,621, and QuickBooks says that they have 1,201 in transactions. Well, first of all, here we have 25 transactions that we have to categorize to change this number. But when I take a look here, I can see that there's a lot going on and it's more to it than just categorizing the expenses and the income. So even after all this is categorized and matched and all that, it's not going to match. And this happens here on the savings as well. So there's no transactions to be categorized here. Everything is categorized, but QuickBooks says that the bank account should have $800, but the actual bank account has just 200. So the first thing we do when we see something like that is updating it, making sure that everything is categorized. If it doesn't work, like in this case here, we're going to go to the bank register. So the first thing that we see here, there is an opening balance equity. So when the account is created, QuickBooks automatically creates this entry just to match what is in the bank and what brings up to QuickBooks. During the time that the bank account was linked to QuickBooks, there was $600 in the bank, but it hasn't been recorded correctly. So it never, maybe the money went out before being connected here, or there's some money missing that came in that it's not connected. And this is already reconciled and not through a person. When QuickBooks creates an opening balance equity, it automatically reconciles it. So if you're just starting off reconciling everything and you don't have anything reconciled prior to this, you can unreconcile and start from scratch. So what we can do here now, nothing is reconciled. And if you have a bunch of transactions, even if you never reconciled, if you have a bunch of transactions, you can always click here to make sure that nothing is in the R, so nothing is reconciled. You go to reconcile, and let's say you have your bank statement, and in the end of March, the ending balance for the savings was $200. So then you put your ending date as 3/31 and you start reconciling. And then here you have the 200, everything is zero. And what about the 600? Well, if this never existed and it's not really a transaction, you can just delete it. So you go here to edit and more and delete it, and that's all good. And then if you perhaps have 2 or 3 more transactions here that were not imported, you can always go to new and then record an expense or record a deposit into the savings. In this case, we don't have anything, so we just finish, and now we go back to the bank transactions and everything matches. Awesome. What about this one? What if I categorized everything and it's not the same balance? Well, let's go to the bank register again. And here is a big red flag already. Why are not C's in all the transactions? Normally, this here, more than likely, it is just because it's a sample company, but this happens a lot in QuickBooks when people manually add transactions, either income or expenses. They just manually add it, and then there's nothing linked to it. And normally when you see this, you see a bunch of duplicates because the person here added a deposit for $868.15, and it came through the bank and they didn't match it. So now it's all uncleared. So it doesn't have the clears. Here, same thing as the other one. It has the R because it's automatically reconciled when we have an opening balance equity. We can do the same thing and unreconcile this. And then when we go to the bank, so you see all this here, you need to start figuring out, is this duplicated? Is this non-existent? And you can always figure things out during the reconciliation, but I just want to show you. Let's suppose here a deposit $868.15. So remember we saw this there. When we match this and we go to the bank register. Now it shows clear. Yay, so it came through the bank, it cleared through the bank. What if I didn't do that? What if I just added the transaction, and because I don't know how to categorize anything, I just come here and I categorize it because, like, what is matching? I don't know. So we put customer, whatever. Let's find one customer here. Amy's Bird, and then I put sales. Let's see if they have that. Yeah, and I add it. So I don't match what is already in the system. When I add this, what happens is we go to the bank register, and there is 1,868.15 that was manually recorded, and there is 1,868.15 that was cleared through the bank. So if we just sort here by amount, we will see both of them here. And that's what I was telling, what I was saying before, that when there's a lot of unclear transactions, someone just manually recorded this, so they have a track, but you know what? They didn't do it right. So when they don't actually match through the bank feed where we were before, then this happens. In the case that you have a lot of these, a lot of duplications, instead of undoing all the categorizations, you can do it, you can go two ways. You can undo the categorizations and then match everything. Or if you have just a few that you don't want to undo, you can just delete this one. Just make sure that there's no information. So for example, here there's information that it's related to payment. So you don't want to delete that. You want to actually have this because this is all linked to the invoices, to the accounts receivable. And if you delete that, all these payments will be just there hanging out, and you will have to clear that as well. So in this case, the best thing that we can do is come here, undo it, and then match it. And after everything is done, everything should be like that.